Hi everyone, I'm excited to host Siddharth Jha. He's the founder of Preimage.ai. I've been following his work for a while, and when I talked to him last time, he showed me a demo of his product, and it's like I gotta have him as on the show because he's building some amazing products. Thanks a lot for your time, Siddharth.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you again.
So, Siddharth, can you walk us through from college to till this date? What would be your three career highlights?
Okay. Yeah. So since in college, I was part of like robotics clubs and autonomous driving was something really big back then. So that was something that really fascinated me. So I joined those clubs, went for internships, doing mostly robotics and especially computer vision in robotics. And then that was how I really found my like putting in like doing like solving these problems using computer vision. It was much before this entire AI boom, of course, that has left the world right now. So it was all about like solving some niche problems using AI, and that was where I really found my calling. Right after college, I actually joined a couple of startups, did internships there, also in robotics, autonomous driving, and then was like did humanoid robotics, did some freelance projects, and that was all where I found like work that I found super interesting, and like and I thought, like I said to myself, this is what I want to do with my life, and it was not by that time I was not aware about like the AEC as a field at all. So it was just me finding my passion for technology through what I started out as when we started Pre-Image. It was back in 2020. Uh, about that time, we were doing mostly like 3D reconstruction using drones. And then we found some interesting problems in this AEC industry. When we raised some funds to actually solve this problem. Yeah, here we are today. We have built something really cool, have some interesting things to show to you today.
That's amazing. And if you can share like robotics, humanoid, it's super complex and challenging area. What has been your learning sources, strategy? Who do you follow in this area?
Like, of course, there's lots of uh, great like content available for free these days on YouTube, on all the e-learning platforms, and it seems to be for someone who's actually venturing into fields like this. There's a plethora of information right now available. So the barrier of entry, I feel, has significantly gone down. The open source community in general, like, keep following what people on like around the world on GitHub, very active on Twitter, uh, and just keep following their work. I think you're like stay up to date with what's going on around the world, and I think that's typically the usual strategy that I typically followed. And of course, there's like the obvious formal education I had. I have a degree in control systems, which is a little related to robotics, and yeah, so that is how I got my head start into the fields. So, uh, not really doing robotics as a career at the moment, but yeah, but
I
yeah, still find passion.
got it. Any just on that note, what would be top three hardware or robotics company you just find fascinating?
I mean, Skydio is doing a fantastic job. With what drones is doing. I mean, of course, the OG player is, of course, has been Boston Dynamics with their robots. And I'm really excited by what companies like Agility, Unity, and also companies like Anybotics. So those like fantastic researchers doing some really cool stuff, and like it's mind-boggling to see how much we have progressed over the in the past like 2 to 3 years. Like it seems like we were like trying to climb this like unsurmountable mountain for so long and trying to develop like good humanoid robots and the past like couple of years there's like maybe 10, 15, maybe I don't know companies that have just kind of solved the problem altogether. So it's like it's just fascinating to see how fast the field is actually moving along.
God. And you mentioned you made a pivot to AEC. Can you share like what was the seed of the idea, how you started, how long would it take to build like a POC?
So of course, so Preimage always started off as a company focused on not just solving the like a let's say problem that is constrained to a single industry or like a single sensor. So we always thought of ourselves that we say, hey, this is our point of entry into the market, and then we will build on top of this. We will build some great building blocks. And we were able to repurpose a lot of building blocks that we did for drone based imagery. So we started off doing like large scale land surveys for like like urban mapping purposes, for cadastral mapping, for and then we did like analytics and classifications on them. So those are the same building blocks and that we were able to use to build a product that is also very very useful for the AEC market, because reality capture in general as a field, it's also progressing so fast, and it's great to see so many companies actually adopting reality capture into their daily like processes. So and but where we saw a particular what do you call gap, or where we saw something like a void that was in the market, was that there are still solutions that you can do reality capture with, and they are very easy to use, that are very like immediate proof, I can say. But it's what we saw around in our circles. It was like the adoptions of those solutions, because they are so high end, it was not happening very rapidly. And especially, so basically, we have been working with a lot of companies who had been doing like drone projects with us, and they had also been doing some AEC projects on the side. And they asked, "Can you do this for us?" And I'm like, "What are you using at the moment?" They're like, we have tried solution X, solution, we have tried solution Y, but it just doesn't seem accessible to us. It doesn't seem like a scalable way of solving this problem. And does it does it require that high degree of investment into like very specialized hardware? And where there we saw an opportunity that, hey, why can't we just use off the shelf, accessible, simple to use, consumer grade equipment, and can we kind of like use the latest and the greatest in AI, and then make those consumer grade cameras work for you, do the job for you? And that's how that pivot happened, talking to like a lot of companies and realizing that that even though there is everyone sees a value for reality capture, just the fact that it is cumbersome and it is expensive, and there's a lot of factors that there's like friction in adoption of reality capture, especially in the AC industries. That's what I would say. So yeah, that's how the pivot came along. And of course, we had like a lot of industry professionals, veterans who had been working with us closely on like solving these problems, and like, just helping us out and figuring out the direction. And that's where we realized that, yeah, this is something, if we are able to solve this problem, yeah, this is something that the market is should be willing to adopt.
Amazing. And what's the story of finding early adopters? How did you got in touch?
So, of course, it has been beneficial to just, I think, especially because we mostly had been working with Indian clients, uh, and Indian clients feels like it's a very relationship based or heavy industry, I'd say. So, word of mouth and referrals and people who had worked with client X before, we can just put in a good word for us. So that, I don't think we had like a clear direction, a clear plan of action in mind that, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna get the client X, and this is what we'll do, and we'll get client B. It's just that we approached a lot of people, just knocked the doors, asked, said that, hey, this is what we've been building. We've already done work for client A, B, and C. Would you want to give it a try? And that's how we've been able to get some traction.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah, would love to hear from you as well. At the like you have done like a lot of work in the like you have a lot of experience in the 3D industry per se. So I would love to hear from you as well. Like, what has your understanding of the 3D adoption in the global AC market been like for you? And I've seen like you built like some great products in the past as well, like, and talked to like a plethora of like great people. So I'd love to have your 2 cents on as well on this adoption of reality capture 3D in general as a tool.
Yes, as you said, like the positioning and the relationship really help in adoption. So from my experience, just finding the right champion, finding the right channel to reach out to those champions, because the need is validated. How do you find efficient ways to scale and get consistent people who would test your product is the early challenge which a lot of product has to crack. If they crack it, then it's very streamlined approach of doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
It would be great if you can do a deep dive on pre-image, show us how it works.
Great. Yep, sure. So pre-image, as you mentioned, it's like works on two kinds of inputs. Like the consumer grade input I'll be talking about, it's particularly 360 cameras, particularly. So I have one in my hand at the moment. It's an Insta 360 camera. You must have seen like tons and tons of these floating around in this in the so it's usually a consumer grade camera. It's used by adventure enthusiasts, bikers, and whatnot to record like great quality videos. It's got a good sensors, and the best part is it sees the entire surroundings in a omnidirectional fashion, so you don't miss out on anything. And we saw that there's an opportunity just because the camera sees everything. It captures a lot everything. What if you just take a quick walk around whatever site you are actually working upon? You mount this camera either on a helmet or a tripod and on a stick. Just take maybe spend 10-15 minutes just walking around the site where the work is actually progressing. Then what where pre-image comes in, we take that raw footage or images, whatever you captured of the site. You can upload that footage onto our web platform. Say in an hour or so, in a couple of hours, you get interactive, durable, and intelligent representation of your site that then you can collaborate upon. You can add notes, you can take measurements, you can take cross sections. And let's say you have already have the sheets, the IFC files, the coordinated BIM models, and you want to see how well is your project adhering to those drawings or what the outputs that the draw as planned outputs that you have already designed. So Preimage takes the footage and then Preimage takes the raw data like sheets, the model, and then it's able to compare the two things together in a single unified fashion. And if there is anything that AI can then detect that is not following the ID or the quality standards or something is deviating from where it should be, our AI is then able to flag that out and give you like consolidated reports. So that's how we end up helping our clients. So maybe if you take these videos at every milestone, maybe every week or like every couple of weeks. First of all, you get like a very comprehensive visual documentation of the condition of the site as it was on that particular day. And since you can see everything in 3D, since you can see everything in 360, you don't tend to miss out on any aspect of the site. And the second aspect is that then if you want to go back and compare like how things are looking today versus how things were looking at the same place 6 months back, you can do that on the platform. And if something is not following as I mentioned, something is not following the plan, we can then give you reports in terms of that are super important for project managers, like building owners, contractors, and whatnot, to stay on track and be on the top of things when the project as the project is concerned. And we do it one using 360 cameras. We also still have the capability of using drones. So you can capture the exterior facade of the sites. So using periodic captures. So all of that is now is a part of a single platform, which I would love to demonstrate to you if have no other questions.
Yes, yes.
So let me share screen. Probably just let me know when it is actually visible. Yes.
Mhm.
Right. Right. So I'll start off with like a typical use case. So we work with a lot of people who are design are doing turnkey projects on commercial office spaces, I can say. So, like, I'll take a specific kind of scenario. Let's say I have taken, let's say, three captures, one in September, one in March, and one in Jan. Let me first start off with like how a typical capture looks. Condition of the site as it was received by the interior design company. So here, if I click on the virtual tour, what loads is a 360-degree panorama of the site. Now, if I want to go in any direction, I can just click on that particular hotspot and I get teleported there. So now this is how the condition of the site looks like, right? This is, as you can see, is September 2024. And if I actually click on this 3D button, I'll also be able to see a full 3D model of the site in this same view. And here I have the mini map that like tells me where my camera is. And let's say I want to inspect any particular area. I'll just click on this particular area and the panorama for this particular spot gets loaded. So, and of course, here you can actually comments, for example, if something is not following the standards, I can just say this wall clustering isn't up to the mark or whatever. And I have these entire workspace where I can add all of the collaborators and they can all get emails, notifications regarding who has actually tagged them in notifications. And just like how you would on Google Docs, you can like you can add comments, resolve them, add pictures, supporting evidence, RFIs altogether. This is all possible right from this. And the best, like how it is actually just different from other applications is the moment I bring out this measurement tool, I can quickly get like a sense of what is the distance between things, right? And I'll show you better measurement tools in a bit, but for quick examinations, you can measure distances right on this particular interface, like one unified interface. The and if I want to actually see the path I covers, I also get a sense of that. And now I'll actually move on to what happens when I'm actually taking a look at scans across. So, for example, now I am taking a look at September 2024. Here I'm also taking a look at September 2024. So let me change the scan here. This should now I'm comparing the scan between September 2024 and Jan 2025. So here's where the platform starts to shine, right? So right now it just moved. It's so just on the first hotspot. So these images don't look anything like each other. But let me move to a spot which is present in both these images. So now what you see here is from the same spot, how the things have changed between the site at, between, how things have changed between the site between between September and January. And as you can see, the masonry wall has been installed here. This column right here is the same column which is down right here. You get a one-to-one correspondence between how things have actually moved about. So once again, if I do a comparison between the same two scans in 3D, I can now see how the site looked earlier and how the site is actually looking now. So just as an example, so if I want to actually analyze that how much masonry work has actually happened. So so what I'll do is let me just close this comparison view and bring up the point cloud view. So here, see, this is the 3D point cloud view. And now if I want to calculate how much masonry work has happened, this is not just a a 3D reconstruction, this also has very good semantic information encoded in it. So if I see this 3D point cloud, and if I want to remove the points that are classified as a ceiling, so now you can see all the points that were classified as ceiling got removed. All the points that are classified as walls, I can just select them here. I can, or if I do a classification view, I can see all the elements, common elements get identified in the building automatically for me. So you can see the column getting identified in one color, the floor identified in one color, and also if I have to show you how the exact comparison looks like with the sheet that was already present on the site, I can do that as well. So let me show you that on this project maybe. So this is a villa refurbishment project that we undertook. And if I open this floor plan view over here, I can now see the overlay of this
Nice.
image with the sheet altogether. So once again, if I want to turn off the ceiling, for example, I can just see the individual walls in the room. And if I want to actually compare things one to one, I can also have a thumbnail or a map present here. So let's say I typically want to go into this courtyard or directly. So I get teleported directly into this courtyard. And here you can see, I can now see where I'm actually standing in the room, exactly on the sheet. And if I turn off the point cloud and only show you the images, I can also just do a navigation using these images right here. So now this is exactly how the rooms align with this sheet. So basically, this becomes a very powerful tool for analyzing and giving people a sense of where things are moving along on the site. And since everything is automatically mapped to the drawing automatically, the analytics that you get, they are always have a reference back to the design software that you have been using, be it Revit, be it AutoCAD, be it Navisworks, anything. You can always have, if I tag someone in this view, you can always go back to the same spot in Revit and exactly get to see how what is clashing, what is deviating from your 3D model, what is deviating from your drawing, and these analytics get delivered to you uh, on a click of a button. You can just request a report. You want a you want a visual defect report. You want a visual progress report. You want a segmentation report. All of that gets delivered to you automatically. Yeah, as I was mentioning, the same thing we can also do using drones. So it's just more of the same. We can just capture images using drones and we can compare them on time. One more thing, actually, I want to I'll talk about as a part of the demonstration is because we have developed an AI that recognizes scene elements like ceiling, wall, uh, floor, columns altogether. We have also developed a downstream aggregator AI that also converts this point cloud directly into an as-built CAD model. So here, what you are seeing down here is an AI generated IFC file from just the 2 to 3 minute walk that was undertaken in this particular site. So imagine going to a site, spending, let's say, 10 minutes there, capturing a video, uploading that to the platform. By the time you are back to your office, you already have a CAD model that you can then directly import into your design software, be it SketchUp, be it Revit, anything. And so that is also something that we have been developing over here at the image. I won't say that it is live yet or it is like at a state that it can completely make these things without any mistakes at all, but we have been able to deliver a high degree of automation. So if I just do a side by side comparison between the images and the IFC file here, as you can see, all of the cutouts have been specifically marked, and it's pretty faithful recreation of the site done entirely automatically. So these are some of the things that I really wanted to demonstrate since, like, I want to keep it short. It's like I've been already going on for some time, so I'll stop the demonstration here, and we can take it forward from here.
Yes. First of all, Siddharth, incredible demo. Great job on the whole tool building, the features, and the UI UX is amazing. So great product.
Yep, I'll credit to the team. Yes.
What would be a good time for someone to engage with pre-image? At what stage of the project cycle?
So we typically work two different kinds of projects. One is, of course, as I mentioned, the project progress tracking. So that could be like a turnkey refurbishment project, or it could be like a project that's like starting exactly entirely from scratch. So we tend to come in at two or three different stages for construction projects. One is, of course, like doing the land surveys, recce's, using drones. That's one thing that when someone is creating the master plan. So second, at each milestone, the groundwork, earthwork actually starts at every milestone, thing like a sense of the site, like status automatically. That becomes a super important problem for everyone to solve, and that's the second stage that we are really beneficial at. And the third is, which is more beneficial for refurbishment kind of projects. It is that when you're getting the site for the first time, invariably, I would say at least 8 out of the 10 times, whatever drawings you're actually given by the previous tenant or the owner, they are not like a one-to-one representation of what is actually present at the site. So we come in, we take these videos and help people update those drawings to the actual site condition, and that becomes super beneficial in the design stage, and also when the design work actually goes on, for keeping the site team and the team sitting in the office on the same page. We can That's where those are some of the places that reality capture as a service that adds value. And the best part is, you don't even have to come to us. If you have a 360 camera, you can start doing this on your own. The sign up is open. It's at app.preimage.ai. You can start using the tool for today. We just need to have a 360-degree camera that is supported by us, and we have a mobile application as well that you can use to upload the data in a seamless fashion. So yeah, it can be completely self-serve. To be very honest, most of the other projects that we've been doing, it has required some degree of hand-holding, but yeah, it can completely self-serve.
That's great. I was about to say, like, it's a very frictionless self-serve model. It's Jan 1st, 2026. What's the version of pre-image we are looking?
Okay, okay, Jan 1st, 2020. Oh, interesting question, actually. So, of course, like I think that we have been able to get like one degree of democratization into the market in terms of what air capture can do. We really want to actually make it like the analytics super tuned to the AAC industry, and like the and basically think of us as like being able to report the exact progress of the site entirely 100% automatically, and the WPR, DPR, whatever the company is sending to the office can be generated automatically. Is a great milestone, I think, that we want to see ourselves in. And secondly, of course, right now we have been doing some projects in India and Singapore, in the US, but like we want to, as I mentioned, it's a scalable kind of a model because it does not require that expensive purchases for equipment. The barrier to entry, we want to make that super low, and we want to expand across the globe with this particular platform. And yeah, doing different kinds of project, be it like drawing update project, be it like a BIM model generation project, be it like a as built creation project, be it like a project tracking project. So yeah, it's that's where we see ourselves going, solving like a bunch of the problems that are in the AZ industry through one consolidated reality capture platform.
You've been building this for a while. What what are things you wish you would have done differently for, let's say, you were to build a second product as a second time founder? What would be your playbook or framework?
I mean, of course, the usual advice, of course, is like sell first, build later. I think that is something that we did not anticipate, and like me not having any founding experience, and we made some mistakes in terms of like not mm, analyzing the value proposition that well enough when we were just doing the drone photogrammetry solution, and so yeah, I mean. Get those insights faster, like more focus, solve that one problem super well before like moving on to multiple problems. Yeah, that is something that we want to avoid doing in the future, I'd say. And of course, I mean, we can talk all about like the AI boom and generative AI boom and all the things moving so fast. If we don't move fast, it's a recipe for disaster. And now at this stage, first, like uh, don't try to build everything on your own. Integrate stuff, even if it's like a broken MVP, ship it fast. Yeah, stuff like that. I would say that would be uh, learnings from my journey.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great advice. What would you tell to 18-year-old Siddharth?
I mean, I was always drawn by I was always drawn by like doing things on my own, and always thought that hey, hey, I'll I'll write this piece of software and this will solve X, Y, Z. And I think I was missing out on the people aspect of things and why and how it is so important. Like it's the development is just maybe half of maybe less than half of the problem. It's basically be mindful with how you're building connections and be I would say work on your social skills, work on the way you can present yourself. So I think those are some of the things I still am learning. It's still a work in progress. It's still a upward climb every day. But yeah, I would say that is something that I should have done better.
Last but not the least, which we didn't cover in this interview, and you would like to end on that note.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's been great chatting with you about the industry in general. I would say, and I consider myself still like someone who's like an entrant into this industry. So I mean, yeah, just people from the industry just hit me up and let's talk. Let's exchange ideas, build something great for the future.
Yes, Siddharth is very approachable on LinkedIn and email, so feel free to contact him if you wanna test the tool or have any feedback or if you wanna refer the tool. So he's a supportive founder. Thank you, Siddharth, for your time.
It's been a pleasure, Mayur, and phenomenal job you're doing with this series of discussions and podcasts. And yeah, guys, keep following Mayur on the AI podcast.
Appreciate your kind note.